Today, I'm going to talk to you about why I think the EXO table from Expedition Essentials is my perfect solution for all of my Overland kitchen wants and needs. Coming up.
A bad day. That's it.
Yeah! My name's Drew, and this is Evergreen Overland. On this channel, we explore back roads around the Pacific Northwest, hone outdoor cooking techniques, showcase 4x4 vehicle modifications, and do reviews on camping and overland gear like the one you're going to see today. I love cooking, and I find that food really brings us all together. Cooking for my friends and family is really one of my favorite things to do when I'm out exploring. A lot of people try to keep it simple with freeze-dried foods, and although I like them and I find they have their place, I definitely like getting creative, experimenting with new recipes, and trying new things a little outside of the norm when out camping with friends. It makes it just that much easier when you have a cooking station that's compact, well thought out, and well designed, just like the EXO table. Expedition Essentials describes their EXO table as a universal expandable kitchen module with the capability to be mounted to any flat surface that has the available room. That's a mouthful, but that's basically what it is. This thing is compact, it's super rugged and durable, and was designed with a lot of attention to detail. Let's go ahead and take a look at how this whole system deploys. So I store my EXO table right in the back of the truck bed here, tucked tightly over to the driver's side, but within reach of me being able to access it from the tailgate. Right there. One thing that is available for this EXO table, if you want it, and you're probably going to want it, would be this. Basically, this is just a flat mounting plate that they designed so that this can be mounted in different locations, but you can switch your EXO table around between vehicles or between different mounting points on your rig or your trailer, or however you want to do it. I got one of these just as a test, basically. They're really pretty thin. I mean, I want to say the widest part of them is 2.5 inches. I'll link the measurements of this down below in the description. Unfortunately, my tire swing out is just too close to my tailgate to be able to fit this permanently attached to it on the inside when I close up the tailgate. I think I only have about 1.5 inches of clearance at most between the tailgate and the swing out when it's closed up. So I had to come up with my own kind of unique mounting system for it. I'll show it to you here today. This is what the EXO table folds down into. Super compact and a really nice fit and finish. I'll flip it over and show you how my mounting system is designed. So how it's designed is basically how a truck trailer hitch is designed, where a smaller diameter tube slides into a slightly larger diameter tube, giving it a really tight fit. These aluminum tubes, to keep it, as light as possible, are mounted with some spacers in the existing mounting holes on the back of the EXO table. Then I modified my brute force fab tire swing out section to have the mated tube that these tubes will recess into. All I really do from there, pull the EXO table out, line up the tubes, slide it all the way back until it lines up with a hole right there. And I have these little pins that I shove in that hole. My last build of the 1987 Toyota pickup had a really awesome build out that I did in the back of it with, storage drawers and a tilting fridge slide that I designed, and it worked out really, really well. But the one thing that always bothered me, when somebody is cooking, you couldn't close it up from the elements and mosquitoes and bugs and all that kind of stuff. The reason I went with the EXO table is because I wanted to be able to completely close up the back of the truck and not have it interfere with the tailgate or anything like that, so that if my wife is sleeping in there or people are hanging out in there, that can be completely closed up and we don't have to have mosquitoes flying in and out. And eventually when I put a heater in there, that'll help keep the heat in a little bit more. My plans for the habitat eventually will be to get a telescoping ladder for the passenger side so you can access through the top door up there. Once you have the EXO table fully mounted up and pinned in place, you release the quick detent pins here on either side, drop this down, and that exposes the Cook Partner steel stove. These are like one of the top stoves on the market. You see them kind of everywhere throughout different builds, and I wanted one for a really long time, so I was super, super happy that they went with this stove to make this modular system work. I'm not sure if other stoves work with it. I'm sure they could be modified if they fit in this space to work with it, and you can buy the table by itself. but I was more than happy to shell out the additional money for the Cook Partner Stove EXO table combo. So from there, it's drop down. You slide this whole stove all the way out. It's important to note that these slides, as well as the stove, can all be reversed, so the whole system will slide out to the left versus the right, so you can mount that, you know, in different locations as far as on a different swing out if you chose to. From there, I'll fold out my side support wings, kind of let those go. You'll rotate out the top upper table of this, and then these supports go to the outside, and then using the same pins that you use to hold the whole thing in place together, pin through the support wings, and that also holds this upper table in place. Super, super cool. I mean, just like at home, you know, counter space is a must when you're trying to stay organized and efficient in a kitchen. This just gives you that platform to put spices or ingredients. From there on the inside, you have a fully food safe, full-size cutting board. This is definitely a full-size cutting board in my mind. And you can just fold that down and utilize it right there. Or if you want to gain like, you know, 1.5 to 2 inches of purchase, just slide it out a little bit into the holes that it goes in, and that just bumps it out a little bit, giving you a little bit more usable space right here. Okay, from that point, you're basically ready to hook up the grill. These come out really, really simply. This is really nice to get in here and do cleaning after you cook. I always hate it when I don't take the time to, you know, properly clean a stove, fold it up, and then before you know it, you've thrown your cooking box into your garage and not used it for a few months, come back and it's just molded, and then it's a pain in the ass to clean. So this being able to come out and having the aluminum, you know, super easy to clean aluminum construction of this thing makes it really awesome to avoid that as much as possible. You can hook up your propane line right here. I usually just let it hang down over here, put my propane tank in the back area back there. You can actually feed this over here if you want to. That kind of pins it a little bit out of the way. Now, if you want, you can email Partner Steel and they will make a custom length propane line. I actually have one coming to me right now from them that should be here sometime this week. And it's a 14-foot length so that it can go all the way back to the bumper, all the way across the bumper, and all the way up the side to my actual propane tank holder on the other swing out. I just want to be able to, other than when I'm filling the thing, leave it in place and kind of not worry about it. I'll just worry about running this hose every time over to the propane tank and hooking it up that way. You have the system fully deployed now. So that's really all it takes to set this thing up. It's a super quick deployment and you get faster and faster with it as you go. You can tell that when you're cutting stuff, it's super secure and sturdy. Another really cool feature about how this kitchen module works and can be set up is how versatile it is for different types of weather and that kind of stuff. Move the cutting board back to its original position, fold it up, and I'll collapse one of the wings, and that allows you to fold the unit under. You don't have access to the cutting board, but you can absolutely still cook things like this, giving you a little bit more protection from the wind and the elements. And that's plenty strong. I mean, this isn't gonna hurt it by any means. I'm just having it supported by this one side support. Now third, probably not gonna use all that often, but if you wanted to, there's no reason why it couldn't be set up without this table. So let's go about taking this cutting board completely out, take the side pins out, drop the table back, and there you go. Now that's folded out of the way. It gives you full access to this cutting board. So if you're doing a bigger meal, this might be a great way to set it up so that you can fully utilize the full space of this cutting board. This whole thing has been powder coated with a nice matte black finish. One thing I have noticed that in closing this up, the upper table here does kind of come in contact with the edge of the Cook Partner steel stove, and it's kind of worn away at the material here a little bit. Not that big a deal. Nothing is going to remain perfect forever, and I don't really expect it to. But what I am going to do is get some sort of, I think I'm going to get some sort of hard Teflon mat that I can put in there to kind of act as a barrier so it's not rubbing. For all its features, I think the Expedition Essentials EXO table is probably one of the most versatile and well-designed kitchen solutions in the Overland market today. It's also nice to put my money behind a family-owned and operated business found in the Pacific Northwest. If you'd like to learn more about the EXO table, any of the other products that Expedition Essentials sells, or any of the products shown in this video today, go ahead and look in the description section below. You can follow us over on Instagram at Evergreen Overland or on evergreenoverland.com. Thank you for watching the video. Have a good day.